Hey folks, and welcome to the latest installment of Dave's Impressions. This time around, Final Fantasy XV. These impressions were taken from playing the game for around 4 hours and 30 minutes. Enjoy! Final Fantasy XV does not put its best foot forward. The first action in the entire game is to hold the right trigger to push a broken car. On its own, that might have been okay. It could have been cute. If I hadn't just gone through this tutorial, I did not care for it at all. While the combat seemed interesting as they were explaining the ins and outs of it, it wasn't until much later in the game when I got the chance to actually experience it in its natural environment that I started to have fun. In the tutorial, it didn't seem like the combat had anything special to it, and plus, the game told me all the same information anyway. The game itself is its own tutorial, and that's the way it should be. I enjoyed the road trip vibe, chilling with your buds as you cruise along. There's a nice seaside town. I did a bit of fishing. I love how you camp out under the stars and there's cooking. One of the guys, he has a camera and he'll show you all the pictures he took during your daily adventure. The way I approached it was, if any of the characters remarked on any of the photos, I would save them and discard the rest. I like it because it feels like whatever this adventure is, it's being documented, and what's most important is the bond between these four friends. As you run around the world, there's constant chatter, a back and forth between all of them. I like how they weigh in on what's happening, even giving advice on what to do next. Two heads are always better than one, and here we have four. Maybe it's a fatigue of open world games, but all the areas on the map, the little caches you can explore for cooking materials or treasure, I didn't want to visit any of them. If I went somewhere and there were things nearby, I might take a detour, but not always. One reason is because of this side quest I was trying to do. At this point, the city had been attacked, so these giant aircraft carriers would fly overhead and drop a platoon of Magitech soldiers right on my head. I would deal with them, but then it would only be a couple of minutes before another would appear. I remember once I was fighting one group and another group appeared right before I finished the fight. It put me off wanting anything to do with side quests, at least at that time. Maybe things calm down later in the story, but for now, yeesh. I originally felt the battle system was too chaotic. I felt overwhelmed. I wasn't able to read the physical tells of the enemy, but as is the way with most games, the more I played, the more I got into my own particular rhythm and understanding of the systems. Either holding the evade button and waiting for the right moment, or using Warp Strike to jump up to a vantage point, survey the battlefield, and then choose who to attack next and why. I love Warp Strike, not only for the ability to survey, but as a way to quickly get around the battlefield. When I became more proficient with swapping weapons and using magic, it all came together. I still think there's not a lot of room for strategy. It's more about feeling cool and relying on your buddies, because they have powerful attacks that I kept forgetting to utilize, except for the fight where the tutorial explained it. There was a boss in the cavern, where I feel I should have played around a little more with their abilities. It probably would have made the fight a lot easier. Reflecting back on the game, I love the road trip aspect of it. I find the battle system interesting enough, and I'd like to see how that progresses alongside getting better at it. The main story though, the one about the political intrigue, I just don't care. Maybe it's because it's at odds with the road trip, or maybe it's because I don't yet like Noctis as a character. He is my least favorite of the four. Everyone else seems a lot more mature than he does. There's not much relationship between him and his father, so I don't buy his grief. And I can't just ignore the larger stakes that the story is trying to get me invested in while I'm driving around, cooking meals, and slaughtering monsters. It's like the gameplay and the plot are at odds. It's an overused term these days, but I do feel there's a ludonarrative dissonance at play here. So, should you play Final Fantasy XV? Well, hopefully after watching this video, you have your answer. As always, I'd love to hear what you think about Final Fantasy XV down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, why not buy me a coffee? There's a link in the description. If you'd like to help me out in other ways, please give the video a like, share it on your favorite social media sites, or subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I hope you're all having a wonderful day.